Welcome to Periscope. Hello, 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 hello. So here we are, peeps. Let's see if I can bring this in a little bit more. So here we are. This is day two. Day two. I tried to erase most of the stuff behind me, so a little color doesn't hurt. So this is day two of the 7 days of change. I'm super excited about it because I love this. I'm going to go over some of what we talked about concerning day one, just so we'll kind of be on the same page. Welcome to Periscope, by the way. My name is Kathleen Herod, and thanks for joining me. So this is going to be day two of the 7 days of change. And I was going to start this off with like a question. So, you know how people always say, like, tell me something about yourself or tell me what you think about yourself. And most of us will start off by saying, I'm a good person. You know, I treat people, this kind of way and all of that. But I want you to think in terms of, have you ever thought about how you are going to think about yourself? Have you ever thought about that? Like what's going to identify me? What's going to say to me who I am? So to go over what we went over yesterday, thank you for joining me on Periscope. Thank you. So this is about moving from I feel to I am. So it's moving you into a position of power, right? We don't want to be shaky people. You know what I mean? Like if someone does something to you, it makes you feel some type of way and we get all in our feelings and, we live in what we call, I say it's an emoji or emoticon society where everyone wants to express how they feel, but at the same time, you shouldn't be easily, made to feel a certain way. So it's about being in control. I ended yesterday by putting this out there. Not to offend anyone, but I'm very serious about what I'm doing. I'm so serious and I want you to get it that you have to have control over your thoughts. So I think I ended the other day by saying, what is the one thing that people who have struggled with, thoughts of suicide? What is the one thing? What is their major struggle? It is the overwhelming, resounding sounding of thoughts that are just coming at them in a rage. And I tell you, thoughts are very, very pushy. Thoughts are very pushy. Thoughts will make you drink wine and get intoxicated, and rehearsal of bad thoughts will drive you to drugs. So how do we get power over our thoughts? So yesterday I said, again, thank you for joining me. What you need to know, this is how we started off day one. I'll be uploading day one and day two to YouTube tonight. So look for this on YouTube. You can replay it here on Periscope. What you need to know is you are the owner and the operator of your thoughts. Your sole responsibility, your thoughts. If they're going haywire, if they're on repeat, you are the sole owner and operator of your thoughts. Second, what you will discover as we go through this, the power to control, process, and reject thoughts is your ability. The best thing I ever learned in my life is to say, I don't believe that. When I was growing up, I was told I was four-eyed, I was ugly, I never amount to anything, and it was being said to me. Of course, my mind, when you hear something, your brain has to process that information. And the best lesson I learned was to say, I don't believe that. Like one day, literally, this person was attacking me with words and saying, you think you're this and you think you're that, you think you're a good reader, you think you're smart, you think you make honor roll all the time, but you're never going to amount to anything. And I looked at them, right, in all the wisdom of God, and I said, I don't believe that. It was the most powerful, life-changing moment of my life. I was about 13 years old. So what will you become? After the 7 days, you are going to be a walking commander in chief of your beliefs. in power of your thoughts. And I put this out there yesterday. Just like President Obama, you cannot control what people will do to you. People will be mean to you. People will be hateful to you. People will try to discourage you. They'll try everything. But the bottom line is you are the owner and operator. You will be the commander in chief of your thoughts. So it doesn't matter what they say or do. It doesn't matter. You're going to remain in that position of power. And that's what these 7 days are all about. This is day 2. I wanted you to start on a Saturday because I wanted us to have 2 Sundays in here because, you know, I'm not Oprah, so I'm not telling you believe in no higher power and all that kind of stuff. I believe in God. That's just me. So it works for me, as Bishop T.D. Jakes says. So day 2, what are you going to do? So yesterday I asked you to write down every single thing negative about yourself, everything you believe about yourself that wasn't positive and wasn't godly. I asked you to write all that down, everything you are, if you are, you know, whatever you believe you are. So however bad that was, however real it was, however raw it was, I wanted you to write those things down. I wanted you to write those things down because today we're going to move into day 2 where you have to decide what are you going to do. So if you believe you're not a good mom, if you believe you'll never be successful, if you believe, you know, whatever negative thing you wrote down and you identified yourself, this is day 2. So what are you going to do? How are you going to move from everything you wrote on that paper to where you want to be and how you want to be seen and how you want to be represented and how you want to be thought of? So moving from I feel to I am, what are you going to do? And the first thing I want to say is decide. Make a decision. If you have that piece of paper, that would be your category 1. Shift over to category 2 and write down every opposite of what's in category 1. So if category 1 said, I would never be successful, draw your arrow and right across from there it should say, I will be extremely successful, right? So if day 1, if category 1 said I was a failure, or I'm a failure, I'm a bad mom, whatever you put over there, over here you should draw an arrow and say, I'm going to be an exceptional mom or dad or whatever you're going to be. So are you feeling me? Are you getting me? Because this is homework. This is real work. This is not snap your finger magic. Your life is going to change. This is knowing what to do. This is knowing what to do. If you are sad, if you are depressed, draw your arrow across and say, I am happy. I'm excited about life, right? So what are you going to do? Decide what you're going to do. The next thing you're going to do is start to rehearse. Not what's on the left side of the paper, but you're going to start to rehearse what's on the right side of the paper, right? What you've decided that you wanted to do. So today is what? It's a big belief day. Big belief day. This is the day you got to start firing up that mind to believe. Everything you believe before Saturday, before today, doesn't matter. What matters is what you've decided you wanted right now, right? Because you get to decide, because you're the owner and the operator, you get to decide what you want, and you have to believe. So you have to rehearse. You have to believe you can have it. You have to believe you can be successful. You have to believe you can be a better mom. You have to believe you can change. So rehearse. You're going to start rehearsing. We're not going to wait. Starting today, you're going to start rehearsing. And then the last thing I say on here is you have to decide what you're going to do. You got to start rehearsing what you want to do. You're moving from the left side of that paper to the right. And then the third thing is I want you to marry the idea. If you can follow that whole concept. It's just like I met a woman. I met a man. We'll just say a man because, you know, women generally don't ask men to marry them. I met a woman. Decide what you want to do. I want to marry her. What do you have to do? You have to have rehearsal. You have to practice, right? You know, treating her the right kind of way every day. Every time you talk to her, you be kind, you sweet. And then you finally marry. You solidify it. This is who I am. I am Mr. Jacobs. She is Miss Jacobs. This is what you're going to do. I know it's a lot of information. That's why I said in the beginning, you have to trust me on this. Follow me on this. Do what I'm asking you to do. In 7 days, you will be a changed individual. I promise you, you will be. So you're going to do basically, like I said, from left to right, the opposite of Saturday. And I wrote on here, Saturday, like sad, like Saturday, Sadder. You're moving from Saturday, sad. I feel, those feelings, those little emojicons or whatever, to Sunday. That's why this is like the perfect lineup. So today's Sunday, S-U-N, sun, bright, change, belief, all of that is happening today. Today is the day of believing. Everything you knew about yourself, you have to extract those thoughts. You're moving from the left category that you wrote down Saturday to this right category that you're writing down today. New ideas, new beliefs, new thoughts have to form. Do you believe? You have to believe, okay? So this is the 7 days of change. I gave you your first day. This is your second day. Tomorrow is Monday. I know it's moving fast. Jump on this train, jump on this boat, this airplane, whatever you want to call it, because we are moving to a new way of thinking. So tomorrow I'm going to teach you an exercise. I'm going to teach you the difference again. I'm going to go back over the brain versus the mind. But tomorrow we're going to talk about rejection. So if you've ever taken a karate class or a kickboxing class or did some Taebo, I'm going to teach you how to reject thoughts. Just like I mentioned earlier, when I learned how to say, I don't believe that at 13 years old, when I was being told you'll never be successful, you'll never. At 13 years old, I give credit to the Holy Spirit whispering to me to say out of my mouth, to project my own future, I don't believe that. So my mind could stop receiving the abuse and the negativity that was coming my way at that time. So I'm going to teach you that. I'm going to teach you how to reject thoughts. It's a very powerful lesson. So join me for that. Thank you for joining me tonight. That's all for tonight. And I'm going to see you tomorrow. I think I'm going to do this 7 days, 7 o'clock. Just keep it like that. Of course, tonight, my selfie stick broke. My stand that I have this on, it's on the camera stand, broke. It's like every time I try to do something happens that's really weird and crazy and strange. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me tonight. And tomorrow I'll be asking you to send me some hearts, show me some love, and get some chat in. But thank you for joining me on Periscope. I am Kathleen. I call myself the mind changer. My mind has changed over the years about a lot of things that have empowered me. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you for joining me. Have a great Sunday night.